Oh, do we have the right inputs and everything?
Yes, I'm just hitting record so I don't forget to hit it when we actually get into it.
Shit, you can hit it. You gonna let me hit it? No, I'm just kidding.
Now that I got my new leopard print leggings, yeah.
I love those.
I told y'all once I turned 40 I was gonna get into animal prints.
I like that you did. I like animal print.
Fuck!
I honestly believe this with all my heart, that all of human history was the lead up to us inventing sweatpants.
Yes.
Like the rest of it's just cake from now on. We invented the thing we were here to invent.
Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta pee real quick.
Okay. He's been drinking those energy drinks lately. I think that's what's making him pee so much.
The cold makes me pee, and it sucks. Now that I'm DoorDash, I don't have a regular restroom. So pretty much I'm like, oh, I have an order. All right, I'm going to go in there and pee, and then I'll pick up the order.
Yeah.
I don't know my body. When I walk out to the cold, I want to pee. I don't know.
That's the thing. It happens to people.
You know what sucks, though? That's why I get mad when I see, like, Little Caesars or Papa John's, because I'm like, they have restrooms that I can use.
Yeah.
And I need to pee, and I don't want to pee in my pants.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing it. I'm just saying.
I guess that's what gas stations are for.
Yeah.
You can't really handle it if you don't have a bathroom nearby and you have to like get a delivery order.
I try. They have a
what the Amazon drivers do and just have a bottle in your car that you.
I don't want to do that. I know I'll fuck up and get piss all over the car and then have to find a way to get it out. I don't know how they do that so well. I mean, I guess it works, but I swear to God, I'll be like trying to do it and I'll slip. I know it. I know it.
Man, I had a boyfriend for a while who was a truck driver, and I actually spent 2 years on the road with him when I was in like my early 20s, and that's a thing. It's way more common than people realize.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know it's a thing. Yeah, because if you got to pee, you got to pee.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I'm doing my thing, the reason why I pee at restaurants is because the only other way I can do it is when the order's over, I pause the order and then I can go pee. But then I'm not making any money for the next 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So,
and I know this because I woke up one morning and opened a bottle of what I thought was Mountain Dew.
Oh.
And let me tell you, if you've never puked out of the window of a moving vehicle going like 80 miles an hour down a highway, it is quite an interesting experience.
No, but I haven't done that, but I did open a bottle of someone who was using a Dr. Pepper bottle for a dip.
Oh, gross.
And I went,
no.
I didn't make it to the bathroom. I was right in the living room. I had to clean that shit off the carpet. That was gross.
That is so.
But why would you do that? Why would you do that to somebody?
I know, right?
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
My name is Jadzia Dax. My race is genderqueer, and I love fucking Klingons.
My name is Rom, and I work at my brother's bar, and then sometimes I Moogie!
Well, yeah, my name is Chief O'Brien. I got like 1,001 things to do, including finding my wife Keiko and saving her from the bloody Cardis again.
It's kind of funny because you have a couple of different Keikos to have to worry about.
And this is
Sumo Punx.
I wonder how many of our listeners actually have ever watched Deep Space Nine.
I'm sure there's a good chunk.
It's probably got to be, I'm going to take a guess, 98% of them.
I was surprised I could actually do a ramen impersonation.
You did that very well, actually. I was extremely impressed. And if our listeners can't tell, That's not Rom, actually. That's Matt. I'm not actually Jadzia. I'm Sabrina. And with us is
I'm Caleb Baccus.
unfortunately not the harried Irishman. It's
I'm not Chief
Caleb
O'Brien.
Baccus from Mighty Eagle Sumo in San Antonio, here to talk to us about the first week of the January Basho, but also his upcoming tournament, the Mighty Eagle Teams Tournament.
The Met.
The Met. I am stoked about the Met. Man, I had kind of a bad fall kind of winter, bad close to the year, especially at the damn Houston Open. Man, I did so piss poor there, and I was so mad that I was just stuck in my own head. No, this time it's going down.
Yeah.
This time there's going to be dicks in the dirt. This time there's going to be butt cheeks hitting the mat. And I'm going to be there, and I'll be like, ha, 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 ha. This is going to be awesome.
Clap some cheeks.
Cheeks
Yeah,
will be clapped.
I'm excited about that, Matt, because I thought you were doing pretty poorly there too, but you always have an issue. I feel like you should do matches before you do matches.
I should. That's exactly what I need to do.
Your first two matches are terrible, and then you start getting better as the day goes longer. So I don't know. Maybe it just that's what it takes for you to get into it. It happens.
That is a trend. Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's like your first one or two batches, you kind of just have to get that out of the way before you start really kicking ass. So what we're going to need to do is try to get there early and then make people fight you before they have to actually fight in the tournament. That way, not only will you power up, but they'll get gassed out sooner. So
I need to find someone like Corey, someone that jumps around and has a lot of lateral movement, so I could get used to that.
One of them squirrely boys.
Yeah,
squirrely boys. I like that, squirrely boys.
But tell me a little more about the Met, Caleb. That's going to be
okay. If this is
right?
a sumo podcast, I'm hoping that a good chunk of y'all have seen Hinomaru Sumo.
Yeah.
If you've seen Hinomaru Sumo, you'd understand what a team tournament is. It's what. So when people say traditional, they're usually what they're talking about is Grand Sumo. But Grand Sumo is different from Amateur Sumo in Japan. In Japan, Amateur Sumo usually starts with a team tournament, which can be 3 people, 5 people, or there's a 7 people teams. We do 3 at the Met, but you pick your order. Let's say I'm going first and Sabrina's second and Matt's third. We keep that order the entire time. And so other teams pick their order, and you fight me. I fight the first person. Sabrina fights the second person on every team, and Matt fights the third person on every team. And that's why it's done. And the best out of those 3, so whoever gets 2 or more victories, they win the round, and yay for them. Woohoo! Woo! Whoever gets the most rounds, because we try to do it like a round robin. So whoever wins the most rounds gets first place. And then after that, just like in Hinomaru Sumo, we do an open weight with everybody fighting each other, which is where Matt will shine, which is where he usually shines. He loves the open weight.
And how long has the Met been going on?
This is the 3rd one. This one's at a festival itself. It's an Asian festival at Rolling Oaks Mall in San Antonio.
Yeah, the New Year's Asian Festival. I saw that.
So it's gonna be free admissions and stuff, and so anyone can just come watch. And if you're in the San Antonio area, you should do that because it's fun, and hopefully it's not cold as balls. That's what I'm hoping.
And that's going to be February 10th and 11th, right?
Yes, February 10th and 11th.
The tournament itself is February 10th.
February 10th.
Okay.
11th is going to be a demo for anyone who wants to stick around a day longer and get some work in with us. I know every time I can, I try to do that with people who have light demos or practices the next day. That's what this is going to be. Should be lots of fun. We're going to probably finish early on Sunday too, because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, damn, it is?
Yeah. That weekend, Super Bowl Sunday weekend. And, my team's already out, but I got to go watch those commercials, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year just because it is more unique. It's, pretty much all teams. And you'll see tournaments every now and then that have a teams division as well as the regular different weight divisions and stuff and open weight and whatnot. But it's super fun. I'm going to actually be handling the live stream for that again this year, just like I did last year with Jessica. We do have some other events coming up that we just wanted to highlight as well. The soonest one is going to be January 27th, the Kuma Sumo Bash number 2. This is an all juniors tournament, so each competitor has to be under the age of 18. There will be a demo and instruction, and then they will have the tournament itself. This is going to be at Antioch High School in Antioch, Tennessee. There is no registration fee. However, you are required to be a USSF member to participate. And then right after that is going to be the Met, the Mighty Eagle Team Summit, on February 10th.
You have to say it like that. The Met.
The Met.
We're going to go compete at the Met.
Do it, Caleb. Do it.
I want to challenge all you clubs out there. Put the teams together and come down to the Met.
The Met. Come see what you're made out of. It's going to be badass because what I love about the Met is that you get all of your bouts. You do.
Oh, yeah. You get a lot.
Yeah, you don't get knocked out of the bracket that easily, so you get your bouts in. And, man, you see everyone push to their limit. You see everybody like, oh, my God, can I even do this next bout? So there's a lot of wild stuff that happens. I had a blast
You're
the
going
last
to be
Met.
exhausted, but you're going to really love it.
There are people who drop out of the open weight because they're just too tired after the team.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing that's going on February 10th is the Paris Sumo Open. So if you happen to be in Europe at the time, you might want to check out that as well.
You could get, there's more info at paris-sumo.fr.
Yep, so that's also happening on February 10th. Then later in February, on the 24th, is the SoCal Sumo Open in San Diego, California. This is going to be at City Heights Performance Annex. There is a $30 registration fee. Kids and teens actually get to compete for free, though.
You would have to get in touch with Honu Sumo for the registration form. They do have a form to fill out, but definitely hit up Honu Sumo on social media and they'll be able to hook you up. Yep,
that's Honu Sumo, Honu. And then they are also going to be hosting nationals on June 1st. We'll have more details about that a little later on in the year. Another tournament coming up a little while after that is going to be the inaugural Sakura Cup Sumo Tournament at Music City Muscle Gym in Nashville, Tennessee. That one's going to be in April 6th.
I was hoping to go to that one, but
I really want to go to that one too.
Roller Town. If I can get a group of people so it makes it cheap enough to go out for the weekend, I will do that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't want to spend too much money because I want to spend the full weekend at Roller Town, so I need money for that. So,
yes. Well, that's the next event coming up after the Sakura Cup. It's April 12th and 13th, the Roller Town Showdown in Salina?
Let's say Salina,
Texas. That's going to be at Roller Town Beer Works. As we all know, last year's tournament was absolutely fantastic. We had Gagamaru, who came out to do Keiko with everybody, and also help officiate. Am I thinking of the right word here? Officiate the tournament itself. It was so much fun. I'm sure it's just going to be 10 times more fun this year. It's an extravaganza. You just got to fucking see it. It's insane.
It is a lot of fun. I would like to say, Salina, Texas, whatever you're called, please build a hotel in your town.
I know, right?
Caleb, you can sleep at our house.
Yeah, we have a house now, like an actual house,
room.
Not that crappy apartment that you went to that one time. That place is whatever, but we have an actual house, and it's
about
nice.
45 minutes from Salina, Texas.
Yeah. We're super close now. We're closer here than we were when we lived in Richardson.
Yeah, definitely. So if you need somewhere to crash, we got you.
We got an air mattress. Oh, and if you want to keep up with more amateur sumo events, not just the ones going on in the States, but even international ones, go to sumo411.com. It's curated by Kellyanne Ball, and it's got the goods.
It does. Anything you want to know about upcoming sumo events, or if you have an event that you want added to the list, you can contact them and get it added to the list.
Yeah.
All right, so was there anything else we wanted to mention about the Met before we start talking about the January Basho?
It's just registration. You can find the registration form. It's because Matt was talking about registration and reminded me. Now, thank you. I appreciate you. Registration forms you can find on mightyeaglesumo.com. You just go to that page and you hit the little hamburger thing up in the corner, and some will say registration form. Please fill out your teams by. I'm probably gonna post something about this tomorrow or the next day. I'd like to get everybody filled in by February 8th. By midnight February 8th, so we can put something together on February 9th. If you don't, you can still compete, but you're probably gonna be like in a pool of people that we're just gonna put on teams instead of building your own team.
Yeah.
We had
That's
talked
what I'm
about
gonna do to help people register their teams a little earlier. Because
Yeah.
people don't like to pick the team. They want to like hold off as long as they can to get their 3 guys.
Oh
like
no! Like
last year, people showed up like on the day of the tournament and then
Yeah.
like picked their team. So if you show up this year to the tournament and you don't have a team, the way we were going to do it is just have a list of people, the no team people, and then create a balanced team of 3 competitors for you. So
Yeah.
when we say balanced, we mean, we're not going to have like 2 heavyweights on a team. I don't think you can do that anyway, right?
You can do 2 heavyweights. Any 2 weights together is fine, but you can't have 3.
You can't have 3.
2 heavyweights, but you can't have 3 heavyweights. That's the issue. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But yes, we will create a balanced team for you. If you haven't already picked your team, maybe you procrastinated, maybe you just don't know a lot of other people in the sumo community, and that's fine. It happens. But we'd love to get to know you.
Yeah, keep this in mind. There's 3 positions on your team, and your team will always have to fight in this exact same order the entire tournament.
Yes.
You've got your Sinpo, that's your first guy. You have your Chuken, that's the middle guy, and you have your Taisho. He's kind of like the anchor, the last guy.
Matt coming
Yeah.
in with the terms.
Yeah, and it depends on what you want to do. Some people like to put their ace at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that like they just wipe out whoever comes in first, and someone wants to put their ace at the end, so that if it's a 1-on-1, you have your best wrestler to finish off the round. I don't care. Just show up and fight. That's all I want.
And you can choose, once your team has been picked for you, if you show up without a team, you can choose your own positions amongst
That,
your
yeah.
teams. Yeah.
But once you choose it, it's locked.
Exactly. Well, if you're interested in attending the Met and competing, definitely reach out to one of us or reach out to Caleb, Mighty Eagle Sumo. But we'll put all the contact information in the description for this episode. Let's go ahead and move on to the Hatsu Basho.
Oh, man.
There's been a lot of very interesting things happening in this Basho.
Very much so.
As everyone probably knows, Teruno Fuji is back.
He's back.
Yep. He had to sit out the last couple of Bashos, but he is now officially back. Currently, as of day 8, we have a 4-way tie for potential kyujo winners. We'll discuss that in a little more detail later on. We also have had 4 Rikishi drop out of the tournament so far. One of which actually came back for a little while and then dropped out again. But it's just been a carousel of carnage.
It is. Would you
this
call it
Hatsu
a
Basho.
carnival of carnage?
God damn it.
A little golf clap for that one. A little golf clap.
I walked right into that one. I deserved it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and talk about some of the stuff that happened on day 1. It honestly went pretty much the way you would expect. We got to see new Maegashira 1, Atami Fuji, go up against Hoshoryu again. And get thoroughly thrashed this time.
He did.
Not without putting up a fairly good resistance, I would say. We also got to see the return of Yokozuna, as I just mentioned, Teruno Fuji, who immediately got to work attempting to wrench his opponent's arm off.
that Uda?
Newly minted Komusubi, you got it, Uda. He was the lucky boy who got the honor of getting caught in Teruno Fuji's clamps, much to the worry of all of the Ura stands out there who spent the next 24 hours or so fretting over whether he would survive such an ordeal. But he did, and he went on to, continue competing in the Basho, but we were worried there for a moment.
Yeah. But he's very rubbery, though. He's like a Stretch Armstrong, so...
He always survives somehow.
Yeah.
He always survives. The clamp!
The clamps!
Yeah, he got dropped on his head a little later in the Basho.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
That too. And he just keeps on going. It's like he's indestructible. Day 2? I think you actually had the notes for day 2.
I did.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you found notable about day 2?
The first one that I found notable was Koto Shoho versus Ono Sato. Oh, and just for clarification, Ono Sato is my nephew.
Not your son.
Just my nephew. Atami Fuji's my son, Hakuoho is my other son, but Ono Sato is the nephew.
Yeah.
Because I can't have all the sons.
He's a really nice guy. He's a really cool dude.
I like him.
Yeah, because you got to meet him in at Worlds in Birmingham.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I wish I got to have a match with him, but I didn't because it was I got to meet him when the whole thing was over, when the Open was done. But, he's really nice, dude. He just came up and talked to me. I don't speak Japanese, so I just smiled.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were trying to remember who actually got to have bouts with him because we were talking about that yesterday, and I couldn't remember exactly who it was.
Was it Gilberto?
Yeah, most Americans did, and then some. Justin got to do Butsukari with him, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just stuff like that. But yeah, him, the guy playing football right now, whose name is slipping my head, even though he's
Hiratora Hanada.
Hanada, thank you. Loma Sumo and her friend are my favorite people that met the World Games.
Oh, Konkyori?
Yes. Yeah.
I want to meet her. She seems nice.
She does, yeah.
Have you ever seen her friend? That was her last, I think, competition. She's middleweight, I think. She's taller and skinnier. I'll send you out videos.
I think I know who you're talking about, but yeah, I don't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Not Miku Yamanaka. I think Miku Yamanaka's a lightweight.
Yeah, this one's an older one. She's about 3 or 4 years older than Loma Sumo, and she scares Loma Sumo, which is impressive and long.
Oh wait, are you talking about Airi Hisano?
I think that
she's got short hair.
She's a Tachi that I dream of having. It's gorgeous.
Yes, she's powerful. Gosh, she's powerful.
These people so hard for someone so small. She looks like a slender girl, and she's.
Oh wait. Oh no, because Airi's she's heavyweight. So is it smaller? You said slender?
No. Okay, you're talking about the one that has short hair. This girl has shoulder length hair.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I misheard you.
I will send you a video. You'll understand when I send you a video how amazing she is. Just trust me on this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Trust Caleb.
Well, this is the stock of amateur sumo that Ono Sato came out of.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the point.
Okay, so back to the action. We have on day 2 Koto Shoho versus Ono Sato. So the previous Juryo Yusho winner Koto Shoho was feeling himself when he stepped up to the Shikirasen. He had demonstrated his strength and his skill, but that didn't mean shit to Ono Sato. So Koto Shoho came in fast at the Tachi, only to have his momentum totally overpowered by the young rookie. Ono Sato scooped Koto Shoho's ass up and threw his ass overboard. Oshitaoshi victory for Ono Sato. Hell
yeah. He's been blowing through, and we are going to talk about this more, but he's just been completely blowing through all the lower Maegashira ranks. It's fantastic to see.
Like tissue paper.
Yes. Like rock hard turds through toilet paper.
Pretty much. All right. Mitakeumi versus Hiradaumi. So I was pleasantly surprised and impressed as hell to see Hiradaumi just plow through Mitakeumi like a Mack truck through a wall of toilet paper. Killer Oshidashi victory for Hiradaumi.
What are all these toilet paper references?
I don't know. I wrote that a few days ago, and there's just more toilet paper just popping up.
Someone was having some time that day on the toilet. That's all it was.
Hey, that's true. I think that might have been the day I clogged the toilet.
It wouldn't be Sumo Punx if it weren't. Hiradaumi actually, he does have really impressive sumo. He doesn't always get the wins, but he
fights his ass off. The only thing that stops him is he just wants to do big man sumo, but he's not a big man.
Yeah.
But he pulls it off sometimes. Shit.
Yeah, no, I'm always happy to see Hiroda Umi. I think he gets overlooked a lot because, like, he's one of those people like Ura who doesn't always, like, get all the wins, but I think a lot of people, like, sleep on him. Like, they prefer the style that Ura does to his. But his, to me, is really interesting because it is so aggressive. And, like you say, it's just, like, big man sumo in a littler body.
Yeah. But that's what makes him interesting. You know, I just love watching him, like, just get into his warrior mode, to get into battle mode. He just throws himself at people. I'm like, yeah.
Hell yeah. Gives it his all.
Yeah, and that's that fighting. That's what it is. Fighting spirit.
Exactly.
That's what attracts me to Hiroda Umi.
I love seeing his fighting spirit.
Hell yeah. And then I did have to make a small note that the Tobizaru versus Nishikigi bout, you know, where he snapped him down, ruffled my feathers.
Really?
My feathers were ruffled. My cage was rattled.
Really?
Yeah.
Elaborate that.
Your nipples were tweaked?
Yeah, no, because Nishikigi is like my doppelganger. Like,
oh, God.
Because when I look at Nishikigi in the face, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. And to see him get snapped down like that by Tobizaru,
I'm going to have to start a tally of every time you've mentioned this on an
because
episode.
It's true. But no, seriously.
I don't see
I'll try to remember that. I'll try to look at him and thinking that.
Yeah, when I take my glasses off, you know, so like.
Okay, yeah.
Shit,
I know
you're
they would
closing
do
your
that
eyes more than they naturally close.
All right, fine. Here, like this.
No, I do that too. Take your glasses. You can't help it. Your eyes are.
You squint. You just kind of squint. You know. I mean, we've all seen Hoshoryu without his glasses, and his squint just makes him look mean.
Yeah, it does make him look mean, right?
It's just squinting.
Sumo time.
But then he puts his glasses on and he's all giggly and he just looks kind of silly. All right, so the next bout on day 2, Ruden versus Shodai. So Shakespearean villain Ruden versus our hallowed Lord of Chaos Shodai. Ruden knocked Lord Shodai back with his Tachiai, but Shodai has a reactive style and took Ruden's attacks as an opportunity to slip in an inside left, and instead of the belt, he opted for the armpit and just threw Ruden's funky ass out.
Did you only include that bout because you like it when Ruden loses?
Yes.
Okay.
I've always been a Ruden fan, actually.
Really?
Don't I much? Yes. I don't know what the hatred is. I don't get it, but you know.
Okay, so I was honestly kind of a Ruden fan too at first because you remember when he had that little like Tachiai twerk that he used to do?
I was upset that they took that away from him.
Yeah, but what happened was he had actually broken COVID protocols. He was like, going out to the hostess bars and stuff, but he was also seeing this woman while he was married.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know.
And he
here's my thing: I don't know the relationship.
Well,
I don't know the relationship. Like they
that's
could,
true. They may have an open relationship.
A lot of Japanese marriage couples are open, and like even their marriages, like something like half of them are not sexual at all. Like half of their marriages.
That wasn't all of it, though. He actually got her pregnant and then tried to force her to have an abortion, allegedly.
Well, I didn't hear anything about forcing to have an abortion. That would suck.
Yeah,
I don't like that, but yeah, I never heard that.
It's fun to have a villain too. I think that's a big part of like why everybody is kind of turned on Muden is because you have to have your bad guy.
The bad guy, yeah. The antagonist.
The villain, the bad guy, the protagonist, what's the wrestling term for it?
Oh, are you
talking
the heel? Yeah, I was about to say, wait, what?
I would have had that.
No, Ruden is the heel for sure in my world.
Yeah,
my
yeah. It's just fun to have like characters like that,
I understand. There's people. I usually hate people for bad sumo. That's me. That's the people that drive me nuts. That's the reason why I didn't like Abby. And when people hated Abby was because of the whole Instagram thing.
Yeah.
But I hated him because I thought his sumo was shit.
The Instagram thing just made me like him more. Or was it Twitter? I think it was Twitter. Yeah.
No, it was.
But that just made me like him more.
It was a small video. I don't know if it was Twitter, but what it was. But I remember it was a small video. I remember seeing the video.
Yeah, I have it on my phone. I actually showed it to Dan and his wife whenever we were eating after Keiko earlier. And they were like, that's all it was? That's not so bad. It's like, but to the old fogies in the JSA,
it was awful. How dare they?
Yeah.
But you're making fun of the product. That was the issue. That
Yeah.
because they were making fun of sumo. They're like sumo wrestling, but like the DJSA. They were making fun of the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I fuck him. I mean, fuck the old guy. I understood. I understood. You gotta
Yeah.
save your business.
All right. Kotonowaka's sound defeat of Gonoyama was beautiful, and that was a gorgeous Uwatanage. I just had to make sure I let the world know that.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Kirishima beating up Takayasu using only Oshizumo was satisfying.
Yeah.
He's usually a belt guy, but he defeated Takayasu with Oshi, and that's definitely
That was
a
unique for him.
Yeah, that was a Yokozuna-esque style. It was a good display of he's just looking more well-rounded.
Yeah.
And then Taka Keisho beat my son, but it was a damn good match. The old hamster actually had a convincing victory this time instead of just a hinka, so maybe everyone will shut up about it now. Because
Can I just say something real quick? I hate that they say Hinka. He's done like 2 and 3, maybe in his entire career.
Yeah.
Probably less than any freaking wrestler I've ever seen. But somehow he's the Hinka guy.
I know. Chia Shoma's the hinka guy.
Yeah, everybody.
Yes, if anybody's a Hinka guy, he is. Yes.
But what pissed me off about it is that, Taka Keisho was just, he was in the midst of battle. He was doing his style of sumo, what he thought the moment called for. And in interviews, he said he just moved, he just kind of went with the rhythm of the bout, But I don't fault him at all for seizing a moment to win, even though Atami Fuji is my son and I love him. But Taka Keisho, he's older, he's wiser, he has more skill, his skill's more polished, and Atami Fuji left himself open to that attack. So, but that's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah, he will, exactly.
Everybody knows.
Everybody except for the top guys right now. He's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So, I don't fault him, but there are other newer Atami Fuji fans out there that are like, oh my God, how dare he?
Well, she was talking about heels earlier. I think no one in the English-speaking world has hated more than Taka Keisho, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, no. Go online and just mention him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's like, Taka Keisho, man, I miss him. Or so, it didn't have to be anything important. And people will go on there and tell you how terrible of a human being he is and call him names.
When did this happen? Because I haven't been on social media a lot lately, but last I remembered, everybody was writing Taka Keisho's dick.
Yeah, up until the Hinka to Atami Fuji.
No. Before that.
Before that?
Taka Keisho, everybody wants to hate on him. Mostly English-speaking people. Because he doesn't belt fight, and somehow that makes him a bad person. I don't get that. But that's funny because that's why the Japanese people love him so much.
I know. I like Taka Keisho.
Like 3 times now. They love the guy, except they didn't like the Hinka. But besides that, they've loved the shit out of that guy. And
I love the shit out of that guy. I like Taka Keisho.
I don't understand people who are like so down on Oshi style sumo. Like
they think it's not technique. Even though it is,
but it is.
Yeah, I've seen it. Like people who call names like Goblin say, "Well, it's just his mass." Yeah, there's plenty of big people.
No,
trust me, it takes more than that to beat people, and to beat most people. He has a winning record or close to almost everybody but Hakuho. Like he has, I think he's 9-10 with Terunofuji, 8-8 with Kirishima. And then like winning records with everybody else. He's fantastic.
Yeah, you don't make it to Ozeki without actual skill. You're not going to make it to Ozeki just on your mass. Yeah.
You stayed there for 4 years and win how many? Is it 4 championships or 5 now? 4?
I think it's 4.
A lot. Taka Keisho definitely has like a lot of skill. It's not just, mass or whatever. I'm not going to say he's my favorite Ozeki, but that's just like personal preference. But I'm still able to recognize the skill that he has.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand that. And I actually don't mind it too much because when I see someone online say one trick pony, I'm like, okay, I know what you're talking about.
No.
You just think that you know what you're talking about. That's fine. It's fine.
I had to stop myself from trying to even like heed a lot of the opinions of the armchair oyakata that show up, during every Basho and all those social media groups.
True. Yeah.
It's just like, oh God.
That's part of, I think, like you had said, like part of the reason why mostly Westerners are so down on him and that style of sumo is just because they don't really they don't get into it as much as we do. We're doing the translations and we're like trying to really understand what's going on. They're just like, oh, the fight's on, let's put it on and, drink some beers and watch it. They don't understand like everything that's actually happening and what it takes to get to that point. And like, it's fucking stupid.
And most people never actually try to get in and push another person out of a ring before.
Exactly. I'd like to see a lot of them get in there and do it.
Matt, you would think, hey, look, that guy can push out most people. He's terrible at pushing. I wanted him to be a great pusher, but he didn't have the timing to push. That's why he's better on the belt. Because he doesn't have the timing it takes to push someone out the ring very usually. Yeah. But when he gets the belt, he can do that. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, that doesn't make him a bad wrestler. That just means that's something that's hard to do. And for some reason, people think it's easy when you're big.
Yeah, Oshi style is actually more difficult than Yotsumo.
Yotsumo,
yeah, the belt style.
I kind of find belt sumo to be like the only reason that Oshizumo is like hard for me is because like I have bad aim, and like the timing,
because you don't wear your glasses.
I can't wear them while I'm fighting.
You can't see. I know. I keep telling you to get
contacts so they could fall out like Bubba's did today. No contacts.
No, I don't. No.
I'm writing this like Nishikigi.
Laser
I will fight blind. We've had blind sumo wrestlers before. I will do that.
See, if my doppelganger fights blind, I will fight blind.
Okay.
Yeah, have y'all seen? I don't know how much history of sumo you know. Have you ever seen the Robo sumo wrestler?
The what?
I don't remember his actual name. I knew him because I didn't know.
Oh, RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Oh, Takumi Sakari. Yeah.
Thank you. I knew it started with a T, but I couldn't remember how to say it. If you haven't seen him, he's fun to watch. But he was almost legally blind.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen his
division? People loved him because his little thing before, like the salt stuff, was so like it looked like he was dancing like a robot. Like it was just so like tight.
Yeah, that's why they called him RoboCop.
Yeah. And he would walk like that too. Just foot down the Hanamichi, and he's got this intense ass face,
And I thought he was cool when I was younger, but when I found out he couldn't actually like see while he was wrestling, that was awesome. And that's when
Okay.
I love that guy. But to see him, like, when you see close-ups of him, that's the guy that I was showing you whenever Wakamoto Haru fell on his lap and he was making that face like, man, get off of me,
Yeah.
That was Takumi Sakari. But, like, if you look at his glasses, they are Coke bottle glasses.
They are. They're
so thick.
Is it one of those things like Daredevil, where when you can't see, your other senses are heightened? How does that work actually on the dojo?
They're not heightened. They're just. I can't even explain it. You're just moving. You're just moving. You're not seeing things. You're just moving. I can't see when I'm fighting. I really can't. It's a big blur. But
yeah,
just move. There was a sumo wrestler, Yokozuna, who couldn't see out of one eye. He didn't tell anybody till like later, and people said
that's Futabayama, the guy that had the record before Hakuho.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had but yeah, he couldn't see out of one eye, and people said it was unnerving to watch him wrestle because he was looking through you. But it turned out because his eye was blind.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh no, he can't even see me. That's true, he can't.
But yeah, he had some sort of like incident whenever he was a kid. It was just blind in that one eye, but he was the one that set the record before Hakuho, broke it.
Wow, okay, fine. I will stop trying to get you to wear contact lenses.
I did it, Matt! Yes!
Just practice more. I don't know what to say now.
All right, so the last bout of day 2 that I had to really, it was mandatory.
Okay.
Was Terunofuji versus Wakamoto Hard Dude.
Wakamoto Hard.
All right, so Big T-Bird looked like he may have had the Hard Dude in a bind there for a second, and he pushed him to the Tawara. Wakamoto Haru managed to return the favor and pushed Teru to the Tawara. The two warriors met back in the middle of the dojo. Hard Dude wasted no movement and used every single ounce of strength to move back Terunofuji. There was a stalemate for a moment. Terunofuji was visibly in pain as he kept his knees bent, bracing for action. Wakamoto Haru must have felt a shatter point in the force because he seized a moment and forced out Terunofuji for his first career kinboshi win.
Ew. Ooh.
That's not a bad consolation prize for, he lost his Sanyaku rank, but, since he's a Maegashira 1, getting that kinboshi must be nice.
Well, he wouldn't have been able to get it if he was still Sanyaku, because it's only Maegashira who get kinboshi.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I didn't even think about it like that. I didn't even know it was his first. That was awesome. I know he looks like his old self this tournament, and that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him fight hard again. It's good.
Hell yeah.
The other walk up there.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about day 3. Takayasu actually ended up dropping out on this day due to his old back injury acting up again. He had actually finally made it back up to a Sanyaku rank after a year in Maegashira. However, he does end up coming back a few days later. We'll talk about that some more. First actual bout I wanted to talk about was Hokuto Fuji versus Daisho. After losing his Komusubi rank last Basho, Hokuto Fuji gains a win by Oshidashi against the Sekiwake Daisho for the first time in 2.5 years. The last time he won against Daisho was May 2021. It has been that long. So it's kind of like Wakamoto Haru, he had to lose his Sanyaku rank to actually start, dunking on fools. I mean, I know it's not the same as a kinboshi, but, this is for their personal rivalry, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's more than just a regular win for Hokuto Fuji. Another bout I found interesting on day 3 was Wakamoto Haru versus Takakeisho. After defeating the Yokozuna on day 2, Wakamoto Haru comes back to take out an Ozeki. It looked like Taka had him as he pushed him across the dohyo to the edge of the Tawara, but Wakamoto Haru was able to reverse momentum and start pushing Takakeisho all the way back across the dohyo until he pushes him out with a Tsukidashi to pretty minimal resistance from the Ozeki.
Yeah.
At that point, he looked like he didn't want to fight it anymore.
He's just like, I got whatever.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about day 4?
All right, so day 4, we start off the day with news of Takakeisho going kyujo. It looks like he tweaked his neck when he tachi-eyed Wakamoto Haru on day 3. He did, right after that tachi-eye, his body just kind of stiffened up, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
They were talking about his neck before the tournament, how bad it was.
Yeah, poor guy. All right, so to the action, we have Hokuseiho versus Asanoyama. So here we can see a difference in battle experience. Of course, Groot goes for his favored right-hand grip so he can do his Frankenstein thing. But Asanoyama dips into the same angle as his arm and cancels out his leverage. The former Ozeki got low and drove forward, and not even his favorite grip could save him from being popped out of the ring like a stubborn blackhead. I love that Asanoyama just flat out refused to play Groot's game, and his sumo canceled out anything the young giant could throw at him. I've been really liking Asanoyama this tournament. Even though he looks like a giant angry toddler, I've been very much enjoying his sumo this Basho.
I've noticed Hokuseiho is actually starting to get a bit better. He does fall back on his fucking Frankenstein style a lot still.
Yeah.
But he's trying new things, He's kind of coalescing his style of sumo beyond just stand there.
It's starting to get rocked up.
Yeah.
He needs to lose. I'm not saying that out of hatred. He needs to lose so he realizes his style is not going to win just because it's a common thing in sports, period. Any sport. When someone's so good and athletic, you see it all the time you see guys in high school and college kill people. Then they get to the pros and think, this is the way I've always done it. And not realize that maybe you need more technique at this point because everybody's athletic at this point. Mm-hmm. So he needs to lose so it gets into his head that, hey, I got to switch stuff up.
Failure is essential to success.
Yes, it is. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quote you on that. Quotables.
I do those sometimes.
All right, so the next notable day 4 bout, Shodai versus Daisho. Sabrina's boyfriend versus my boyfriend. I have to give it to the Lord of Chaos on this one because he fought his ass off. Daisho used his Nodowa attack to fend off Shodai and used Sapari thrusts to hold him at bay. Shodai attacked relentlessly, exploiting any opening he could find, but Daisho put on his best battle face and pushed down the Lord of Chaos, earning an Oshi Taoshi win. My boyfriend beat up your boyfriend.
I kind of like it when our boyfriends fight, though.
Oh, and side note, Ura's first win of 2024 was by Fusenshu.
Yeah.
And it happened on day 4.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed about that, but meh.
He's in the meat grinder, you know.
Is.
They put him against everyone rugged at the very beginning.
Yeah, first tournament is Komusubi. He's just gonna get pounded.
Yeah, if you're an M1 or a Komusubi, that's just life.
That's just what they do.
You know, his first week was really tough, but I think his second week, as of day 8, he is at 1-7, so he may end up getting a Makikoshi, but I think we are going to see him kind of bounce back part of the... Wait, that's not really a pun, I guess, but still.
But it's an understandable joke.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, we'll see him bounce back in week 2, I think.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, if he does get demoted back down to Maegashira, which I'm kind of thinking he will, he'll have learned some valuable lessons, and we'll see him in the Sanyaku ranks again.
Yeah.
It'd be impressive as hell if he wins out and keeps the rank. That'd be...
I know, right?
Yeah. I think if he gets a Kachikoshi, he may actually keep Komusubi.
If
He
he can,
definitely would. They wouldn't demote him on an 8-7. Not when you're that high up. There's no way you're going to do that. Yeah. So you're right. You're totally right. I just don't think he's going to win out.
Him did really, really good though. Like
well,
if
then they might push
slot.
him. What they would do there, they wouldn't drop him. They would open up an extra slot.
That's right.
yeah.
So if they didn't have extra slots to open up, and there were maybe multiple Maegashira who had done really well, like it pretty much like in the Joy or close to it, then they would do that. But yeah. Anyway, we're digressing.
Okay. All right. The last notable bout from day 4, Kurishima versus Midori Fuji.
Oh my god.
So Midori Fuji looked like he was ready to bring the heat right off the bat. The Ozeki attacked with both hands at the Tachiai, but Midori Fuji struck at Kurishima like a cobra. He got underhooks on him and started working his ass, trying to break his balance. Midori Fuji attacked at every opening, giving no respite. Midori Fuji got Kurishima in a position to Kotanage his ass, but the Ozeki shifted his weight, which is exactly what Midori Fuji wanted. He turned this Kotanage feint into a damn Kataskashi. He slammed Kurishima to the clay. I swear I could hear that Onyx song, slam! Let the boys be boys. I was like, yeah.
That was by far my favorite match so far of this Basho. It might win the match of the Basho for me because that is just fantastic. That was fantastic.
It was badass.
I was losing my mind. It was great. It was fun to watch.
Even though it was one of her boyfriends getting slammed to the clay, it was done by one of her other boyfriends. So.
You gotta think for Eric. I didn't know that.
I did not hate it. I was thoroughly impressed, actually. I love watching Midori Fuji win. Especially now that Kirishima is Ozeki and he's doing really well, and maybe we'll make Yokozuna, I can focus more on the little guys like Midori Fuji. Very impressive. Going into day 5, we had Mitakeumi versus Tamawashi. Interesting bout for these two. Tamawashi had only won 7 of the 36 bouts they've had with each other throughout their careers. They end up getting locked up for close to a minute, which is pretty rare for pusher thrusters. But eventually, Tamawashi starts plowing Mitakeumi across the dohyo like he's doing Butsukari or some shit. Just sliding him over to the Tawara before thrusting up on Mitakeumi's throat to thrust him out.
Double thrust.
Double thrust. No, it was really cool because he got him up to the Tawara and then just kind of like, it's like when you're trying to put a box on a high shelf, you know? It's just like, get up there. Then I had Tobizaru versus Atami Fuji as another interesting bout from that day. Atami Fuji was a bit high and hesitant at the tachi, but still managed to get a left-hand overarm grip on the back of Tobizaru's Mawashi. Tobizaru does everything he can to deny Atami Fuji the right-hand grip. They lock up for a bit. Tobizaru tries to go for a leg sweep, which he does. Atami Fuji tries a few throws. The struggle heats up until eventually Atami Fuji decides to abandon the idea of tossing the monkey and simply forces him out by Oshidashi.
Oh my god, tossing the monkey.
I know. It sounds like a euphemism for jerking it.
It's like, what are you doing in there, Matt? You better not be tossing the monkey in there.
I was going to, but then I decided to abandon it. It wasn't working.
No, and I hesitated at the part where Tobizaru tried to kick his feet out from under him because that does come up later in this Basho as well. But we'll get to that. Yeah. The next bout that I have for day 5 was Gonoyama versus Hoshoryu. Gonoyama, at a career-high rank of Mayashira 3, executes an immaculate tachi, getting in tight on Hoshoryu and escorting him out before he even has a chance to respond. It was so perfect that apparently Haas sustained some sort of injury from all of Gonoyama's awesomeness. Either way, this was the bout that knocked Hoshoryu off the leaderboard. Hoshoryu's still doing pretty good, though, so I guess he didn't get too injured. You know, definitely not injured enough to drop out or anything, even though we have had a lot of...
everyone's all taped up. Yeah, there's a lot of kyujo. There's a lot of people taped up. A lot of people limping around. It's like, damn.
Someone escorted out in a wheelchair.
A lot of people not fighting as hard as normal.
Yeah, which is crazy because this has been a great Basho, back and forth, hard fights. But there are people who you're like, no, that guy he'll kill this person, and then it didn't happen. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are they doing?
Go ahead and give us your day 6.
Day 6. I do have to mention that Takara Fuji just got straight up railroaded by Ono Sato. There was no stopping that fucking train.
Ono Sato has been railroading everybody. Pretty much everybody.
All right, so we're going to go with Koto Shoho versus Aoyama. This started out like a standard slugfest, but Koto Shoho got under Big Dan and drove him out. But when he landed out of the dojo, Big Dan had done something terrible to his knee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that same injured, wrapped up knee that's already been janky. But whenever I was doing the notes, I actually, was it like a day later on the Sumo Punx Discord server that Aoyama did just go ahead and pull out, day 7. And apparently it was his ACL.
Day 7 ruptured ACL. This could actually be a career ender.
Oh, the last we see of Big Dan.
For Aoyama.
And his skills were already dropping.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to figure a way to stay in when you're probably going to come in at a non-salary level when you get back from it.
And he's got 2 years, or Japanese citizenship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So what he intends to do, I think he'd be a damn good Oyakata, but if he's got Kabu, I hope he gets to.
But is there going to be any elder stock available? That's always guys. Like there's only so much of that. So you gotta hope someone's selling.
Got to see what's going on. It just seems like nobody wants to be Magaki though. It's like that elder stock is cursed. It keeps shuffling around.
Yeah, but people have been saying this is probably the last we're going to see of Aoyama.
I'm going to miss Big Dan.
Because with that kind of an injury and the kind of healing that he's going to have to do, he's not going to want to drop all the way back down to Makushita or even lower and then build his way back up again. Because how old is he?
He's like 37, 38?
36.
Yeah, 30, 35 at the youngest. And I think he's 36, 37. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
would have to look it up, but that's what I'm thinking.
I am
It might just be time.
99% positive we are going to hear
In Thai.
Aoyama is retiring within the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss water bags. It's been watching those things flop around like gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's been like a staple of sumo the entire time that I've been watching. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, there's Big Dan with the big milk cans. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus,
No,
there's a lot of people who are like non-Mongolians that are wrestling, like foreigners. I mean, there's a lot of non-foreigners who are not like non-Mongolians. So it was kind of cool. You're gonna miss that guy, you know. The Brazilian is gone, and now the Bulgarian's leaving, and it's like
the boobs from Bulgaria.
well, now the only two like hardcore Eastern Europeans that I know of so far just Shishi and Juryo, and then that Aonishiki kid. That
right.
yeah.
Is it Roga Russian?
Oh yeah, Roga's Russian, but he's like Mongolian. He's ethnically Mongolian.
Yeah, like
live in Russia, though?
someone's gonna have to tell you he's Russian because he doesn't. He looks Mongolian.
Yeah. No, he definitely does.
I mean, they're right next to each other. It makes sense. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shishi needs to work on his. I've been watching him. He needs to work on his technique. He turns his entire body to the side.
Yeah.
Like when you try to knock a door down. And like, that is not good technique, man.
No, not at all. Man, whenever he fought Takeru Fuji, he just went straight through him, just like fucking boom. Like that Takeru Fuji guy. Didn't he used to be Teruno Fuji's attendant or something? Before
Yeah.
he did the Juryo? I'm liking watching that guy. That guy is badass.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to be awesome. He has a lot of technique issues to work out first.
Yeah.
He's also 23. It's fine. He'll get there.
Yeah. All right, continuing on day 6, we have Ichi Yamamoto versus Matake Umi.
Ichi!
So poor Ichi hasn't had a good first week, but he must have felt that dopamine surge when he slapped down Matake Umi's dick in the dirt. That was a brutal smackdown. And, you know, for those of you who refer to Ichi Yamamoto as Abi Light, Abi actually had a very similar victory against Hoshoryu, so poor Abi had a rough start to the tournament, especially, you know, with the passing of his master, Terao.
Yes.
But for this win against Toss, that just had to be a little bit of some balm for the soul.
Yeah.
All right, other notable bouts, Takayasu versus Uda, and Papa Bear's back. He came back and he's hungry, and he took on the pink demon Uda. So Takayasu wrangled Uda effectively, going from underhooks to an outside right belt grip and right to the Owatanage, and knocked poor Uda on his face. He basically got a pile drive.
He did.
He just got pile drove.
Yeah.
And then his poor Chonmage, like, he got smashed down, so it just looked like he was wearing a beret.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, he just went literally face first into the dirt. Like,
Oh, I know. And he looked like he got his bell rung hard from that.
Yeah. No, but he is our rubber boy, so he took it in stride.
And but you could tell he's whenever he smiles afterwards. Sometimes he'll make that distressed Uda face where he's just kind of like. But he just did that for a second before he just started smiling.
Yeah.
All right, next we have Atami Fuji versus Dai Show. Oh man, so this one almost made me pee on myself. So Daisho surged forward at the Tachiai, unleashing his usual barrage of Supari thrusts. He worked my son to the Tawara, and as Daisho moved in for the finishing move, Atami Fuji sidestepped and let Daisho's own momentum force himself out of the ring. Yes. I could see my son starting to connect some of those dots in his battle sense.
Yes.
I need to take a couple lessons from that too.
Yeah.
All right. And then last notable bout for day 6, Teruno Fuji versus Tobizaru.
This fucking bout.
So everyone got bent out of shape about this one. The flying monkey gave Teru a harite at the Tachiai, and his finger hit Teru in the eye. And no one likes getting hit in the face when you're not expecting it, but you add a finger to the eye, folks are gonna get pissed. So Teru no
That's what he
Fuji
claimed anyway.
Teru no Fuji deflected all of Tobizaru's attacks. The flying monkey hopped around to avoid the rampage, but Teru grabbed him by the face and notawa'd his ass off the dohyo, glaring down at him menacingly. Hiro Morita referred to this as extracurricular. But Teru later explains that the finger in his eye pissed him off and didn't even mention anything about the leg kicks that everybody thought was the...
Yeah, that was the reason that he gave for why he went so hard on Tobizaru.
And did the glare.
Yeah.
It was the finger in the eye.
I don't think it was the leg kick either, because Tobizaru's always doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's to be expected. Some people say, well, he kicked a little higher than he usually does. Maybe he was trying to go for Teru's bad knee, but I don't think that was it either. A third option is it might have had something to do with the fact that Tobizaru was the last person he fought before he had to drop out for 2.5 tournaments.
Yeah.
So it might have been a little bit of payback, you know?
No, I think it was the eye. I have been poked in the eye in tournament before. I reacted completely different, but I can see like losing your shit when that happens. It was Eric when at a Constance Cup on the Tachi, his eye slipped and hit me his finger slipped and hit me in the eye.
I think I remember that, yeah.
And if you watch it, the next thing, I ball up and he hits me and I go flying. And I was very angry at the time, but like, I just wish I wish I was a gangster enough like Teru no Fuji to go off. Instead of going off, my body's reaction was to curl up like a child.
Oh, but you got your eye poked, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now after seeing that match, I'm like, God.
Next time.
Next time. Some of that Teru no Fuji.
Why can't I do that? Why can't I be like, oh, instead of going,
Oh.
Going into day 7 now, we had Midori Fuji versus Gonoyama. Both guys have been doing pretty exciting sumo, despite their scores sucking ass. Gonoyama gives Midori Fuji a forceful tachi, pushing him all the way to the Tawara and then attempting a pull down, which Midori Fuji resists. For a moment, Midori Fuji thinks he can just get into a slugfest with him and start supariing the fuck out of him, but he just gets multiple notawas to the face and neck until he's against the bales again. Just as Gonoyama was about to deal the death blow, Midori Fuji grabs his arm, pulls him forward, sidesteps, gets behind him, and pushes him out.
That was a nice okuridashi.
Oh, it was. Yes, it indeed was.
So, Kirishima versus Hokuto Fuji. So this was an action-packed bout. Holy shit. This was a flurry of limbs and a brutal exchange of blows. Hokuto Fuji momentarily got the advantage and pressed forward. The Gyoji wasn't expecting this and got plowed over. He got hit so hard, he lost his hat and his sandals. He told the Rikishi to keep going, and he got his gear in order, and he was still going, Nogata, Nogata, Nogata. They kind of got stuck in a stalemate whenever he was, putting his gear back on.
Yeah.
So Kirishima breaks the stalemate and goes for a Kotanage at the Tawara, but the Billy Goat Hokuto Fuji was too sure-footed for that kind of bullshit. So, unfortunately, Kirishima was already 2 steps ahead and worked Hokuto Fuji into position to get his ass bulldozed out of the ring. Just excellent sumo from both of these gentlemen.
I can't remember the Gyoji's name, but
I
don't know. I always think it's funny when the
like-
Gyoji get bowled over.
Is it Kimura Yodo, I think?
Maybe something like that, but he was kind of lucky that they kind of locked up, and it makes me wonder if maybe they did that on purpose so he could collect himself, but because he was like fully turned around, like not even looking at him, trying to find his sandals, and like
Yobadashi had to kind of run up and just hand it to him.
Yeah, no, it was
His putting on the hat was the best part.
Yeah.
When they were locked up and he was just kind of putting a little hat on. It was so fun to watch that. I don't know why. I enjoyed it so much.
Well,
And putting his hat on.
They're always so like, regal and stoic and just very well put together, and then to see them so disheveled is just...
It's kind of novel.
Yeah, it is very novel.
All right, so The next bout on day 7 was Tobizaru versus Hoshoryu. Tobizaru shot forward with an orthodox tachiai, which is, kind of weird for Tobizaru. And Hoshoryu fought a grappling bout with the flying monkey. And they entangled their limbs into a mass of spaghetti as they jockeyed for position. It didn't take long for Haas to get a Morizashi, and he just Yori curried the flying monkey out of there. So it was a bit satisfying. I think Tobizaru was just getting too big for his britches.
You think?
It's just a smackdown. No, not
I
really.
mean, isn't that what Terunofuji tried to do?
Well, he did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I don't know. You either love Tobizaru. You either love Tobizaru or you are indifferent to Tobizaru.
I don't know anyone hates him. I know people are like, whatever. That makes me...
He's an agent of chaos.
He is, yes. He's one of the agents of chaos for sure.
I didn't hear you bring this up, but I want to bring this up. But day 7 was Terunofuji versus Shodai. And I wanted to bring it up because you got to see Shodai actually do the sumo he can do.
Yeah.
When he's not depressed. His tachiai is when he wants to. I don't see it very often. When he wants to, his tachiai is great. And Terunofuji's tachiai was high. And so, boom, Shodai got right underneath him. He got so close that Terunofuji couldn't get the double arms around the elbows. He could only get around like the shoulders, which doesn't work. And it was over at that point. It was just a matter of time for the rest of that. I know. People were like, well, maybe Terunofuji's knees aren't good. I was like, that had nothing to do with his knees. Someone beat him in the tachiai and it was over. That's what happened there. He got out sumoed on that one.
No, when Shodai is good, he's real fucking good. It's just, like a lot of the other Rikishi, he's got problems with consistency. That's what makes, like, a really good sumo wrestler, is that you can, like, have the adaptability and the focus and all these other things that give you that really good consistency where you...
Well, the consistency that Shodai said that he doesn't have, but, able to put himself into the mindset that he needs to be consistent, to keep winning.
Yeah,
to me, it's like
a lot of it is mental, for sure.
Yeah. And, even Hakuho was said to have respected Shodai's tachiai. Hakuho said he feared Shodai's tachiai.
Yeah.
But he has the potential, but I think he's a lot like me, just gets stuck in his own head and, just wrestles like shit sometimes.
Well, Shodai still made it to Ozeki, so that means there's hope for you too.
Sure. But yeah, watching him fucking just like toss Terunofuji like a sack of potatoes was fucking great. I was like, I feel like we're missing a kinboshi here.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the Nakabi. Day 8.
So day 8, Takayasu is out again. After returning on day 6, this time he drops out due to the flu.
But his medical certificate said it was the recurring back pain and the flu.
Okay, well, he's always going to have the back pain. Yeah. That's just the way it is. He's got a fucked up back.
Lingering issues and you get the flu, those are going to hurt.
Yeah.
When you get the flu. Because your body's weaker. So that makes sense.
Yeah, he was running a fever, and he was formally diagnosed by a medical professional with the flu, which kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen to... I think it was Ura he fought on day 6, and then who did he fight on day 7?
Oh, God.
I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, was he contagious? Were they going to come down with the flu as well? I guess we'll find out in the next...
See, like, who goes...
Next week.
Who goes Kyujo next?
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully most of them have shots.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Flu shots are important.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, they are.
Very true.
Yeah, I guess if Takayasu had gotten his flu shots, maybe he just happened to get a strain that was more rare for that year. Because you know how flu shots go? They put all the different strains that are like the most common for that year. But, if you end up getting a strain that
isn't,
you still just
not
get it.
common, then
they're usually, I think, 70 to 80% effective, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking to everybody. Because also sometimes your body just gets the flu, no matter how hard it fights it off. It's just a fact of life. You know, and that's what I'm saying with other people. If other people got their shots, they got their vaccine shots, and their body fought that off, and they might be fine. You don't know.
Yeah, that's always good to say too. So JSA is really good about like inoculating everybody and making them do their
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see maybe he did just get a bad strain, or maybe his body just wasn't producing the right antibodies. But everybody else be like, I feel fine, whatever.
Yeah, I can see that completely. At least, hopefully, that's the way. That's the way it should be. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some guys like, man, I heard Tommy Fuji on his the first trip into Makuuchi. One of the reasons he did so poorly was because he had the damn flu.
I heard that too.
It's like,
I remember.
I wish he could have just stayed home, but I mean, for your first Makuuchi tournament, I could understand not, but still.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the first notable bout that I had for day 8 was Tamawashi versus Asanoyama.
Oh, that was a good one.
Asanoyama, the sole leader going into day 8, looks like he's back on the upswing as he faces off against Tamawashi. They start the bout with an exchange of Supari and Nodowas, each struggling against the other's resistance. Asanoyama finally gets a double grip on the Mawashi of Tamawashi, who then starts spinning them both around until, with a quick jerk to the left by Tamawashi, Asanoyama stumbles and goes rolling off the side of the dohyo himself.
Oh, I know. I was like, no.
Did it seem crazy to you at all? Did it look bad at any point, Asamiyama? Because I mean, I assume y'all heard the news tonight, right?
What
Wait.
news?
The Asamiyama is pulling out
What? He did?
at 7-1. Yeah,
What? No,
and I'm like, I was
the first
trying to
I'm hearing
remember
of
like
it.
the match from this morning when I watched it. I was like, did he get hurt? I can't remember it at all. I can't remember it. I know he had the last tournament, he had a calf issue, but
Yeah.
I didn't see him like really limping or anything. And you wouldn't pull out at 7-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the best I've seen him in years.
I
He
know.
was fantastic this tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I hadn't heard. I had checked the absences
Yeah, I'm on
like
the.
a couple of hours before we started recording, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm on it right now, and they say they have Hokuto Fuji, Takayasu, Aoyama, Hokuseiho, Takakeisho are pretty much the missing ones right now.
That would
So.
be fantastic because people are getting it off of like Japanese Twitter. So
Oh.
it wasn't like anything guaranteed, but I heard it from enough people that usually at this point it usually means something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're, that many people could be like, yeah, I heard it from this person, this or got off of this Twitter account, or
Like if
But
you
I
hear it
haven't
on
seen, like,
Twitter
any-
first,
I
it'll
hope it's
show
wrong.
up on the list like
Yeah.
right after. I see what you're saying. Well, we'll definitely keep
I
an eye on
hope
that.
it is wrong
Me
because
Yeah.
too.
it was watching him this tournament. Like when I went in, I thought Terunofuji was going to win this one. Watching him this tournament, he became my pick on day like 6. I was like, I think he's going to take it. He's looking
Yeah.
too damn good, dude. He looks gorgeous when he's wrestling right now.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, he was the sole leader going into day 8, and then of course he got spanked by Tamawashi. So now
Tamawashi, the crusher of dreams. That's what he does.
exactly. He's still on the leaderboard, but he now shares the number 1 spot with Koto Iwaka, who's also been crushing it.
Oh yeah.
Ono Sato, who, I mean, yeah, he's been grinding up the fucking lower Maegashira ranks, but he still has a week to go of this tournament, and he's going to start facing tougher and tougher opponents, so we'll see. You know, he hasn't even had a year's worth of tournaments yet. I think this is like, what, his 4th, 5th?
I think it's his 4th.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how he does. And then fucking Oh No Show of all people.
I know,
is
right?
Also
He
sharing
does
the
that
number
sometimes.
1 spot right now.
People forget he does this sometimes. He gets on a rhythm. Like
Yeah.
Oshi Sumo is very much rhythm. You got to have really good timing to push people away and continually doing that. And sometimes he gets on a rhythm and he's great. I don't know if it'll last both weeks. It does sometimes. Usually it's just like a week, but and he's also in the lower Magashiras, isn't he? Right now, I think he's like 13 or something.
He's 14 or 15, and then Onosato is like 1 rank below him. But he's the only one who actually has given Onosato a loss. Oh No Show is.
Well, yeah, the guy's touchy. I complain about his sumo sometimes because he is sloppy, But his tachi is beautiful. He hits hard, and he hits real hard. He just if it goes longer, he doesn't know what to do. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't win. I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, when he blasts people, it's on point. You know, whenever he could just beat them at the tachi, then it's usually over.
It's like if he
you know?
doesn't win within the first 5 seconds, then he doesn't know what to do after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Then we have Midori Fuji versus Daisho. This bout was wild as hell, not for the faint of heart. Daisho is an organic piston and immediately thrusts Midori Fuji to the Tawara. Daisho didn't thrust hard enough, and Midori Fuji perched atop the bales, catching himself from exiting the ring. The Pixie Ricochet pivoted and worked Daisho to the bales with Supari thrusts. The piston that is Daisho was not having it, so he Notawa'd the hell out of the smaller man. He went for the pull down, which allowed Midori Fuji to work him back again, but the smaller man lost his balance, and Daisho took the opportunity to spank Midori Fuji on his way out of the ring. This was a damn exciting bout. 11 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Hell yeah. No, and he literally did
Spank
him out of the ring. Like right on his left butt cheek.
All right.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Situation, I might do the same thing. You know.
Right? Exactly. If I had a chance to smack Midori Fuji's ass, you know what? We should probably save that for the Valentine's Day episode.
I'm just saying, you want to see if it will flab or not. Because is it going to be rock hard, or is it going to give you that little wiggle? Yeah,
that ripple. Yeah.
I think he's got a little ripple. Just a little ripple. And now we have Hokuto Fuji versus Hoshoryu. So
this fucking bout.
Yeah, this was hard to watch. And Hokuto Fuji is one of my guys. You know, he's not like my absolute favorite, wrestler, but I like some Hokuto Fuji, And so I really hate to see it when one of my guys gets injured. And it started out as a pretty standard Oshizumo battle. I didn't see any attempts to grab the belt, just pushes, thrusts, and Notawa. Hokuto Fuji was going for a pull down and had his hands on the back of Hoshoryu's neck. But the Ozeki delivered a powerful thrust to the Billy Goat's chest and sent him plummeting from the dohyo, taking a nasty fall on top of a shimpan.
Sent him plummeting ass first.
Ass first. I saw like the back of his knee, like just weighing the edge of the dohyo, and then he was like touching his knee, after he landed. So I think it was the funky knee he hurt. So he was led away by JSA officials in his skibito in a wheelchair, and someone remarked that they heard him say, "Don't worry, I'll see you tomorrow," but we'll have to wait and see what happens. It was a very rugged Oshidashi win for Hoshoryu.
I thought it was weird that they kept replaying it over and over again.
I know!
Yeah!
And they kept showing that face he was making when he was falling. That face made me so sad.
There's an SNL skit with Adam Driver that reminded me of, where he's like an announcer for Monday Night Football, and you see the quarterback get his legs taken out, and it's like really horrific, and they're like, "Oh, that was awful. Let's watch that again. Oh, that was terrible. We won't have to show you that ever again from that angle. There's another angle." That's what it felt like to me. I was like, "Why do y'all keep showing it?"
Pretty much. It's like you could show it every single angle. We know what happened. Just leave the poor man alone.
The top-down angle was the one that really got me.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Even though he said he was going to be back, there has been talk of him maybe not being back.
Yeah, I think it might be better. It depends on how bad his knee got winged.
I mean, we can check and see if there's any news.
This is Matt Jim with Sumo Punx with breaking sumo news. Aside from the abhorrent injury to Hokuto Fuji, there was also an injury to Asano Yama.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, according to Nikon Sports, both Hokuto Fuji and Asano Yama are going to be kyujo from day 9 of the 2024 Hatsu Basho.
Fuck! Called it.
Oh.
I knew it. I didn't think he was coming back from that. Asano Yama I wasn't so sure about, but
But what about Hokuto Fuji's just going to go in his wheelchair to the Basho, say, "Hey, I told you I'd see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
That'd be funny. That's what he meant. He said, "No, I just wanted to roll up and watch, guys."
It's like, "Oh no, I'm out till March."
But I want to see y'all. Y'all are
Did they say how bad it was?
They did not, but I'm sure his medical certificate. They'll probably read his medical certificate tonight during the kyujo announcement.
So we don't know exactly what the injury was.
Not yet. It didn't mention anything, but I'm sure it's that fucking knee, because that's what he was grabbing it, and that look on his face. I was like, no, I know that knee face. It's like, oh fuck, that's my knee.
Yeah.
I've seen it on my face. I've seen it on Ben Marquez's face. I know the knee face.
Did they say what was Asatoyama's injury? Was it his ankle?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured. Yeah. I didn't think it was that bad, but you can never tell. I mean, you can injure yourself literally just stepping off the dohyo.
You can injure yourself just getting up off the toilet like I did. Shit.
Yeah, that's
I pulled my back getting off the damn toilet after a mean poop. So, I mean... See, that's why I gotta stretch and exercise every day. I just can't skip
before
it.
you poop. Yes, stretch and exercise. Warm up the body before you poop. Remember that. I know it seems like it's important.
It might make you poop.
I know it feels urgent, but you need to like really work out that.
Just stretch. Do my lunges.
Do this.
Oh, jeez. Stretch out that rectum.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. All right, so now we have Kirishima versus Tobizaru. The flying monkey had his serious face on before this bout. Like, seriously, his brow was just furrowed as hell. Kirishima, on the other hand, was calm, cool, collected. Tobizaru parried Kirishima at the Tachiai, and an exchange of harite erupted. Toby quickly jockeys for an advantageous position as Kirishima goes for a pull down, which was a mistake. The flying monkey torpedoed the Ozeki during the pull down and sent Kirishima tumbling from the dohyo. Oshidashi win for Tobizaru. I love that. Because we listened to Sumo Mainichi, on the way to Keiko. Sumo Mainichi recognizes when a rank and filer beats an Ozeki. And for them, it's a kinboshi, a silver star. So only in the realm of Sumo Mainichi do they, really recognize, you got a rank and filer beating an Ozeki. They say, okay, well, you get the the Sumo Mainichi silver star. It's like, okay. So,
what I found really interesting about that match, I got to bring this up, because I didn't know that until right before the match. Tobizaru has a winning record against Kirishima.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I did the same thing. I was like,
wow.
I think it was like 9-8, and now it's 10-8.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know why. I mean, sometimes people have people like, you don't expect this guy to be beating this guy on a regular basis, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, like how Oho always beats Hoshoryu. Like it's just something that they have in their heads.
Yeah. No.
Congratulations, Tobizaru. You deserve it after being so thoroughly thrashed by Terano Fuji.
All right, yep, Tobizaru. Even though the JSA doesn't recognize a silver star for beating an Ozeki, Sumo Punx and Sumo Mainichi salute you.
Yes.
All right, and then the last bouts for day 8, the last bout of the Nakabi that I found interesting for no other reason than Terano Fuji versus Ruden.
Oh my god.
So Tyrannosaurus versus Sumo Snape. This wasn't necessarily a brilliant or outstanding bout, but I just like watching Ruden getting his ass handed to him. And it was mostly a grappling bout, which plays to Teru's strengths. He bent up the villainous Ruden like a wire hanger and escorted his ass out of the ring like a cranky toddler.
Ruden does look like Alan Rickman. If you look at him from certain angles, he looks very Hans Gruber-esque, right? He does, though.
I could see that. But to me, he has more of a Snape-ish kind of look,
I was about to say we should start calling him Snape. That'd be fun. I would enjoy calling him Snape.
He's Sumo Snape.
Sumo Snape, I like that.
Great first week of the Basho.
I've loved it so far. I have loved this tournament so far.
Fuck yeah. Can't wait to see the second week. Can't wait to see who else has to drop out. Now that we have, 6?
The dropouts are killing me. because
Yeah.
they're a lot of my favorite guys, and that's hurting. But the matches are fun right now, so I can't complain too much. And Terunofuji's still in there, so as long as he's still in there, I'm gonna be pretty happy.
Usually, I prefer when the Yokozuna drops out because it seems more interesting to me. Like, it's those bashos where you don't just know right off the bat. Oh, the Yokozuna.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, no, I much preferred the '90s and the early 2000s than to the Hawaiian era
Mm-hmm.
to the Mongolian area, because the Mongolian area, it felt like there was three guys who were going to win, and it
Mm-hmm.
just depended on which one showed up that tournament, and that
Right.
kind of sucked. Like back in the day, I remember like you didn't know, and that was a lot more fun for me. So I get you, but with Terunofuji, because of his injuries, I don't feel like it's a guarantee that he's going to win.
Right, and that's what I was saying is it feels like it's still interesting even though our Yokozuna is back. It seems like a lot of the other weeks you still have that fighting chance. It's not like it was when it was Hakuho just crushing everyone all the time. And we knew every Basho, okay, 9 out of 10 chance that Hakuho's going to win this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been great and I can't wait to see what happens in week 2.
I'm really stoked about week 2. I kind of have like a feeling we're setting up some dominoes here. There's, all these people kind of like dropping out. I'm kind of wondering if maybe a couple might end up showing back up. Takayasu showed back up. I wonder if Asanayama's just going to have to, ice his ankle and then maybe be back.
Possibly. We also have a lot of people like Ura, like Atami Fuji, who've just been run through the ringer this first week, who may have an easier time of it during the second week.
Hope so.
Yeah. We also have, some of the more lower ranked guys like Onosato and Onosho who've been killing it in the lower ranks, but because they've been doing so well, they're going to start coming up against tougher and tougher opponents in week 2.
That should be exciting. I would love to see Onosato against some of the Sanyaku. That's going to be fun.
Yes.
That happens next week.
I hope there's like some sort of like playoff situation where Onosato has to fight someone, much higher ranked for the Yusha win. That would be so fucking cool.
If he ends up fighting an Ozeki, I guarantee you it's going to be Hoshoryu. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
That's the one it's going to be.
See, I'm also keeping an eye on Takeru Fuji, like down in Juryo, because he's just been plowing through everybody. So I'm really going to keep an eye on that guy. Because, I mean, if he does good, the next, because he's like new to Juryo this tournament, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means he's still got a tournament or two to, get promoted before he could go up to Makauchi. But I would love to see Takeru Fuji fight the likes of my sons, Atami Fuji and Hakuoho, and then go up against the nephew, Onosato.
Yeah, we didn't really get enough time to go over Juryo so much, but Takeru Fuji has been killing it. Caleb, you had mentioned another Rikishi that you've been
Tokyo.
watching.
You said the name right. I can't pronounce it just right. Matt.
Toki Hayate.
Tokyo Hayate.
Toki Hayate.
He is a smaller guy and he can fight.
Oh, he can.
Oh, yeah.
He can fight. He's beautiful to watch, and I didn't notice him until this week, till like at the end of it, like days 7 and 8, I think. And I was like, dude, we have to watch this guy. We have to watch this guy because he is too damn good. And he's only like 5'9", I think, 5'9", 5'10", 260. I mean, that's big for people, but that's not big for.
I think the only person to give him a loss so far has been Roga.
Yeah, that was yes, yeah. And I was like, I wasn't upset about it. Roga's really good. He's a very good wrestler. I know he's gonna probably end up in the Magashira and stay there for a while because he's very good. But I'm gonna have to watch that boy. I'm gonna have to watch him. He's one of the fun size wrestlers that I like.
The Pixies, yeah. The normal sized wrestlers, you mean?
For sumo, they're fun size.
Yeah. Caleb, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the Mighty Eagle Teams tournament coming up on February 10th?
Yeah, we're gonna win. Bring it.
You think?
Bring it, everybody.
Dallas is gonna
You're
bring
gonna
it.
win. I want this medal so bad.
No, I just want some hardware. I want one piece of hardware, damn it.
Something that you can
True.
show your grandchildren and be like, this is what Grandpa used to do.
I know, right?
I want since last year, we changed our medals and they're really cool looking. They're like a silver medal and it's like a white background, so it looks very
Ooh.
different with the Mighty Eagle logo. And we gave them out last year, and I didn't win anything last year. And I was like, I want that medal though.
Oh. Those were some nice medals.
Hopefully this year I'll grab them.
If people wanted to know more about the Met or more about Mighty Eagle Sumo or more about you, where could they find you online?
MightyEagleSumo.com. If they want to find me, you can find me. I don't know. You know what? Look up Lone Star Sumo or Sake and Sumo. Sake and Sumo. You can find out all about me and listen to me drink and talk about nerdy stuff and sumo.
If you haven't listened to Sake and Sumo, it's fucking great because there's lots of Star Trek, and of course there's sumo, and then you get to see Justin Kizzer and Caleb like buzzed up arguing about sumo and sci-fi, which is like definitely the conversations I want to hop in on. So if you like sci-fi and if you like sumo, get in on Sake and Sumo.
If there is a sumo podcast nerdier than Sumo Punx, it's got to be Sake and Sumo.
We're just nerdy about different stuff. I
Yeah.
think we're equally nerdy, but
Maybe. Yeah.
We should do it though sometime, Matt, because I don't know if you watched the one with JJ, but we talked so long about Star Trek stuff that I had to cut that out and put it like its own little thing.
I did see that. Like the JJ episode has like the Star Trek conversation first, and it's intense.
So we can do that. You can join us on one of our things, and we'll find a way to get that done.
Oh hell yeah!
Fuck it. We're just gonna have to start a whole new podcast just focused on Star Trek.
I know. I'm down. I am so down. Which is it called? Mawashi and the Holodeck.
All right, well, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for our week 2 coverage of the January tournament. If you wanted to find us online, you could just do a search for Sumo Punx. The word punx is spelled with an X.
For extra sex.
We're on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. We have 2 shops online, on Redbubble and on TeePublic. So if you want to get a t-shirt or a sticker,
Shower curtain.
or a shower curtain, whatever, you can find it there. We also are on YouTube if you want to check out our YouTube channel. If you like what you see on YouTube, give us a follow. If you
like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
all the things that they typically tell you to do on YouTube. If you like this podcast, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating because it actually does help other people find it and enjoy it themselves. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.
Live long and prosper.